What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams. Happy Wednesday, and today we're going to take a look at our next to last Johnny Depp film here this month as we wrap up our celebration of his 60th birthday. Today we're going to be discussing Public Enemies, starring, of course, the birthday boy himself, Johnny Depp, alongside Christian Bale, Marion Cotillard, Billy Crudup, Stephen Dorff, Stephen Lang, Stephen Graham, Giovanni Ribisi, Emily DeRaven, Channing Tatum, Casey Siemaszko, and Lily Sobieski. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's Wednesday, and we're in our final week of Johnny Depp movies here as we begin to wrap up our celebration of his 60th birthday. Today we're going to be discussing Public Enemies, and our movie opens in 1933 as John Dillinger infiltrates the Indiana State Penitentiary and breaks out his crew. During the firefight, his mentor, Walter, is shot and killed. Dillinger and company change clothes and eat at a nearby farm before driving to a safe house on Chicago's east side. After killing Charles Pretty Boy Floyd, FBI agent Melvin Purvis is promoted by J. Edgar Hoover to lead the hunt for Dillinger. Purvis uses modern methods in order to battle crime, including cataloging fingerprints and tapping phone lines. In between a series of bank robberies, Dillinger meets Billy Frechette at a restaurant, and he impresses her by buying her a fur coat. Frechette proceeds to fall in love with Dillinger even after he reveals his true identity to her, and they proceed to become inseparable. Purvis leads a failed ambush of Dillinger at a hotel, and an FBI agent is killed by George Babyface Nelson, who escapes with Tommy Carroll. Purvis asks Hoover for additional experienced agents in order to deal with the hardened killers. So, intelligence officer Charles Winstead, of a military background, arrives in order to assist Purvis. Police arrest Dillinger and his gang in Tucson, Arizona, after a fire breaks out in their hotel. Dillinger is extradited back to Indiana, where Sheriff Lillian Hawley locks him up in the Lake County Jail in Crown Point, Indiana. Using a fake gun to escape, he is unable to see Frechette, who is under tight police surveillance. Dillinger learns that Frank Needy's associates won't help as the FBI has been prosecuting interstate crime thanks to Dillinger, imperiling Needy's bookmaking racket. Now, this severs Dillinger's ties with the Chicago outfit, forcing him and Red Hamilton to seek their money elsewhere. Carroll goads a desperate Dillinger into robbing $800,000 from a bank in Sioux Falls with Babyface Nelson. Both Carroll and Dillinger are shot, and they have to leave Carroll behind. They retreat to the Little Bohemia Lodge in Manitowish Waters, Wisconsin, realizing that their haul is significantly less than expected. Dillinger hopes that he can free the rest from prison, including Pierpoint and Mackley, but Hamilton convinces him that this is unlikely as Dillinger longs to see Frechette again. Purvis and his men apprehend Carroll and torture him for the gang's location. An ambush is then organized at Little Bohemia, where Dillinger and Hamilton break away and agents Winstead and Hurt pursue them through the woods, engaging in a shootout that fatally wounds Hamilton. Nelson, Schaus, and Van Meter hijack a bureau car, killing Purvis's partner, Carter bomb in the process. After a car chase, Purvis and his men kill Nelson and the rest of the gang. Elsewhere, Hamilton dies from his injuries after warning Dillinger to let Frechette go. Dillinger meets up with Frechette and tells her that he will commit just one more robbery in order to make enough money for them to escape together. He drops her off thinking that she is safe, but she is arrested and badly beaten for refusing to reveal his whereabouts. Winstead and Purvis eventually intervene in order to stop the abusive and violent interrogation. Dillinger then organizes a train robbery with Alvin Karpis and the Baker gang, intending to flee the country the very next day. Receiving a note from Frechette through her lawyer, Louis Piquet, he is told not to break her out of jail as she will be released in 2 years. Purvis then enlists Anna Sage's help, a madam and one of Dillinger's acquaintances, threatening her with deportation back to Romania unless she is willing to set up Dillinger to hide out at her brothel. They go out to see Manhattan melodrama, but when they are leaving the theater, they are met by Purvis and other agents who awaited them. Dillinger spots the police unit but is shot before he can aim his gun. Winstead then kneels down beside him as he is dying in order to hear Dillinger's last words. Purvis informs Hoover of Dillinger's death as bystanders begin to crowd around his body. Winstead then visits Frechette in prison, and she already knows about Dillinger's death. He tells her that he believes that Dillinger's dying words were, "Tell Billy for me, bye bye, Blackbird." Frechette sheds tears as Winston leaves, and our movie comes to its end. I believe this was the longest movie that I watched all month, and boy oh boy did it feel like it. Clocking in at 2 hours and 19 minutes, this movie dragged. And I wasn't expecting it to because I love crime mob movies. I like things like Lucky Luciano and Pretty Boy Floyd and freaking, you know, John Dillinger and Al Capone and all that type of shit. Like, that's the type of stuff that really hooks me. And this movie was just so boring. They very easily could have trimmed probably 30 to 45 minutes off of this movie. And by God, would it have been a lot better, I think. You guys know me. If you watch me on any of the wrestling stuff I do, I always talk about long-term storytelling. So I'm not opposed to a long story or to a lot of exposition as long as it doesn't feel like it. Don't make me feel that 2 hours and 19 minutes is 3.5 hours. Make me feel like 2 hours and 19 minutes is an hour and a half because everything is moving. And there's not a lot of drawn out dead time. There was so much stuff in this movie that I feel really had no bearing on the greater story that could have just been chopped. And by God, if they had done that, this probably would have been so much better of a movie. Like, I'd probably be sitting here, chef's kiss. But instead, I wanted to take a nap afterwards because this was so dry. You know, I think about a movie like Gangs in New York, which is 3 hours. That doesn't feel like 3 hours, at least not to me. This movie felt every bit of its 2 hour and 20-minute runtime and then some. And that's a problem. Now, that notwithstanding, I did think the acting was good. I was drawn, at least initially, into the story of John Dillinger. But again, the more that it went, the longer that it went, the less engaged I was. I liked a number of the actors that were in this: Johnny Depp, Christian Bale, Stephen Dorff, Emily DeRaven, Stephen Lang. So many good actors in this. I was expecting more. And I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't say I was disappointed. That's really about all I have to say about this. I'm curious to know what you guys thought of Public Enemies, because for me, and I'm only giving this rating because of the stars and the actors, Public Enemies gets 1.5 stars out of 5 for me. That's how bad I felt this was. How long, how drawn out, how boring. It just didn't do for me what I expected to do. But what about you guys? What are your thoughts of Johnny Depp in Public Enemies? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. And let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, as we once again open up the vaults for Throwback Thursday. All the regulars that you've come to know and love will be here, featuring content from J. Hebert 95 and FTW Productions, the Simple Man's Brand, Talk Wrestling, and the Jeff Meacham Network, NoDQ.com YouTube channel, and of course the Casa D18 Studios. And then we will be back on Friday for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, as we take a look at our final movie for Johnny Depp month, as we wrap up our celebration for the actor's 60th birthday, and we take a look at Transcendence, starring Johnny Depp, Rebecca Hall, Kate Mara, Paul Bettany, Cillian Murphy, Cole Hauser, and Morgan Freeman. You don't want to miss out on that. Right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, Throwback Thursday, Transcendence, new release Saturday, and then we kick off a brand new month with some brand new content. So make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, or anytime we go live, as is the case with Stat Boy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE watch-along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Johnny Depp, fans of Christian Bale, fans of Stephen Dorff, fans of John Dillinger and 30s Crime. Anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video, share it with them, as it's the only way we're going to keep my visibility up in YouTube's algorithms now that we are in fact a monetized channel right here on the platform. Thank you once again to everybody out there who joined me and tuned in this afternoon. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.